3, 2, 1, let's go! Hi everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of Boring JavaScript. I'm your host, the Virtual Void, aka Mike Smith, and today we're going to be talking about Object.keys. That's right, you can now take all the keys within your object, throw them into an array, and do all kinds of wonderful things. But only enumerable keys. What do we mean by enumerable? Well, watch the video and we'll find out. So throw away those sleeping pills, get ready, let's get started. Now to do Object.keys, we first need a what? Object. So I've got a simple little object right here. And just kind of to reiterate a little bit about what an object is. An object is a basic unit within JavaScript that is normally set up with a collection of key value pairs. What do we mean by key value pairs? Well, this part of the key value pair is the key. In this case, I have 6 of them: name, breed, arms, legs, tail, and weight. The other part is the value of the key, so that when you access the object, you can say, give me this object with this key, and it will return to you the value. In this case, fluffy, Himalayan, 0, 4, true, and 3.58. So again, these are the keys for my object. These are the values for my object. So what Object.keys does is it retrieves all of the keys within your object, all of the enumerable keys, which we'll explain here shortly, and puts them into an array. How does that work? Well, here it is down here. Really simple. It is a static keys is a static method on the object. The object. That's weird. Anyway, it's a static method, so it is called on the object itself, the object class. There we go. It's called the object class. It's called on the object class itself, and you pass as the argument the object that you want to investigate, that you want to take a look at. So this is going to grab all of my 6 keys, name, breed, arms, legs, tail, and weight, and throw them into an array, and I'm going to call it my cat keys. And then I'm just going to do a little console.log here so you can see that they are indeed an actually array. You want to take a look? Let's take a look. So let's go over to Node, and let's type in node keys. Whoop, yep, sure enough, there we are. The keys of my cat object are name, breed, arms, legs, tail, and weight, which is exactly the same thing that we had set up the object with. Those are the 6 properties of the object, or the 6 enumerated properties of the object. Aha, there's that word again. We'll take a look at that a little bit later on. But that's all Object.keys does, is it throws the keys of your object into an array. Next, let's take a look at some of the things you might be able to do with Object.keys. So why would we want to use Object.keys to put our keys into an array? Well, let's show you a very simple example. Now on the screen right now, I have the traditional method of listing out each key within your object, and that's using the for-in loop. And this for-in loop will go through each enumerable key, and there's that word again, in your object, and you can have access to the key and have access to the or to the value by just simply doing a index within the object. So you want to see how that runs? Let's flip over to Node, and let's go into Node loop, and there we are. It's just real simple and everything. But now that we have Object.keys, we can do something a little bit better with it. So let's flip back over to our code, and let's go down through some code I have done before. Let's move it up to here. Let's uncomment it out and take a quick look at it. So here is the Object.keys, and I'm throwing all the keys within an array. So what I'm doing again, my cat properties are same thing as before, but now look what I'm doing here is I'm using the for each method of the array on my cat keys, excuse me, and I'm just doing a very simple little console.log just like I did before. So we've got the for each loop here now to be able to display all the different properties. If we go over to Node again and we clear out the screen and go back to loop, that got the exact same thing. So again, if we could do it with the for-in loop, why we need to do the Object.keys? Because now that you have an array of keys, you can do all the wonderful things that you can do with arrays. You've got filters, you got sum, you got every, you've got the for each like I used here. So now that you have access to the keys as an array, you can use all these wonderful methods that are available to an array and operate them on the enumerable keys within your object. There's that enumerable key again. And why did I say enumerable key? Well, that's what we're going to cover next. So let's show you what numerable means. So let's talk about enumerated keys. Now, what exactly are they? Well, to give you an example, let's take a look at a book. This happens to be The Storm Before the Storm by Mike Duncan, one of my favorite podcasters. Then when we talk about books, what do we usually refer to? We refer to the pages within a book. You know, how many pages are in this book? Well, there's 327 pages. Well, what's on page 164? Well, here's page 164. But there's more to a book than just the pages. You have the back cover, the front cover, the binding, and what the pages are made of. Is this just plain paper? Is this some sort of cotton fiber, paper, something or the other? I don't know. But a book is more than just the pages. It is also the construction of the book itself, the things that hold the book together. That's also what is part of a book. And JavaScript objects work the same way. Let's take a look at that. So here is my class, and I have inserted 4 enumerable keys within this class: body, head, legs, and alive. And enumerable keys within a JavaScript object are keys that we can then put in there ourselves, that we can then extract, do whatever we want to with them, doesn't really matter. We can see these enumerable keys by creating a new instance down here and by doing a console.log. So let's take a quick look at that. Let's go back over to Node and let's type in node enumerate. I have a bad habit of not being able to spell. Ah, yes, and here's our 4 enumerated keys. But did you know within JavaScript objects there are more properties than that? You have constructor properties, getter functions, setter functions, a whole bunch of other stuff that are not part of the normal enumerated process. And these are properties that JavaScript has put into the object to be able to construct this object. It's the support system. Just like in a book, you have the binder and the front covers and the back covers. This is a support function for the object to allow you to be able to set up those enumerable keys. All those support properties are unenumerable. You will not see them when you do these simple Object.keys or the for in statement or whatever, the for in statement that we saw earlier. And to prove that, let's flip back over to our code and let's just do this: console.log my cat.constructor. Constructor is one of those unenumerable, if that's the correct term, keys. We've done that. Let's go back over to Node. And let's type in node, well, we just do that, node enumerate. Aha, you see it. Here are my enumerated properties. They're the ones that I put into the object. Here is one of the many unenumerated properties that are within the object. So that basically tells you the difference between enumerated and unenumerated. Unenumerated are the ones that JavaScript has put in there to help build this object, to give you the infrastructure, the framework for the object. But it's something that you normally don't have to change. You can read them, obviously, because we read constructor here, but you normally do not have to change them. Enumerated objects, keys, are the ones that you put in there yourself, that you want to be able to work with, that you can change. And that's really, in a basic nutshell, all there is to enumerated keys. And that's all there is to Object.keys. I hope you enjoyed our video. Hope I didn't bore you to death. Please visit us at www.boringjavascript.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or check out everything we have at blog.thevirtuoid.com. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you later.